Bit of a road trip today, economy mission, doing something to help a friend, and it's at 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm already annoyed. Oh, I was hoping not to stop then. When you have a diesel, what you should do is always be playing the economy game. That's what it's designed for. It's designed to make you target good fuel economy. And then occasionally, just for a laugh, some bad fuel economy. But you don't do that very often, not unless you're really, really rather strange. On this trip, I want to achieve an average of 58 miles per gallon. And that's going to be quite tricky because I'm not even using the motorway anywhere. But lots and lots of sweeping gay road fun. I'm on my way up to Settle, which is near Kirkby Lonsdale, to go and pick up my friend Johnny Crook. He's had a bit of an issue and he's going to need to borrow stroke buy a car. Jesus, this is still a 30, mate.
Do you think that the changes that you announced,
bloody Golf drivers?
yeah,
And now let's say something to defend that Volkswagen Golf driver. I understand you're impatient, you're late for work, people are driving slower than what you'd like them to do. They're just sticking by the rules and you don't need to stick by them yourself. So that's perfectly acceptable. I'd like to do that. I get annoyed. I find myself thinking, I wish I could just go faster along this lovely roller coaster of a drive over our bets, but I know I'm not allowed to. Fuel economy so far, not brilliant, 46 miles per gallon, but then I did set off, I reset it from Littleborough, and there's quite a bit of traffic to contend with. So come on Audi, come on Alexander Audi. 47.3 miles per gallon. Ah, at last, motorway. Not quite, it's the A56, but motorway speed, certainly as far as I'm concerned, apply. And when I say that, I don't mean, oh, you're allowed to do 90 miles per hour down here. No, you're not. It means you can achieve the same kind of fuel economy on this road as you can on the M62. In actual fact, you can achieve better because the M62 is probably clogged up. I almost achieved 48 then, but that minicab in front of me jumped on its brakes. And I'll tell you what's annoying me, and it's to do with mobile phones. I've just had a notification come up on my screen there, and I won't be able to really see what it was for another hour. Yet, my phone told me that something was going on. It's like, oh, by the way, somebody's messaged you, somebody's done this, but it does it for just the right amount of time to catch your eye. So as you look, just glance over, and with a glance you could tell kind of what it would have been. But he goes, no, you're going to have to check it. I think that's rude. I also think it encourages some users to mess around with their screen. And messing around with your screen's not a good idea. Who am I being now? Oh, a pest. Ah, there we go. 48 miles per gallon. Yeah, at this rate, I'm beginning to think I'm not going to get much beyond 50. There we go. That was a mistake in anticipation. Rather oddly, I anticipated a bit too much because I took my foot off the gas. You can't call it gas when it's diesel, can you? I took myself off the diesel and let it coast. And then the lights changed. Should have kept my foot down. Someone's not hanging about, are they? Well, what's the best way though? What's your opinion on this? You want to get to your speed of just over 60. That seems to be about the best for a car like this. Do you creep up there? Or do you just put your foot down once, get there as quickly as possible, and then you spend less time accelerating? I've often wondered, and I've tried it both ways, and it doesn't seem to make that much difference. And at this point where I'm starting to go back down a hill again, it's taken me about 2 miles just to get back to 48.
One should have had a different
No.
focus in plans. But
Some
I think
people
that
do want to pay higher bills.
fact.
We want to change the economy by not having bills high. Some people do. I can guarantee it. Some people want to spend more money on things just so they can tell you how much they've spent on it. Wrong. There we go, 49 miles per gallon. If people don't want electric cars, but there's a big resistance against electric cars, and I'm part of that. I don't want an electric car. But how come Elon Musk is now the richest man in the world if people don't want his cars? Maybe they're overpriced. Am I being taken into a housing estate already? Don't tell me I took the wrong turn in there. No, I don't think so. I never like it when you've got many miles to go and you find yourself on an estate. I know the limit's 30, but whenever you got speed humps, you don't drive over speed humps at 30 miles per hour, unless of course you've absolutely no regard for your own motor. What? This just looks all wrong to me. Oh no, come on, what's going on with this now then? It's put me back on the M65. Right, I'm sorry Johnny. They use these sat-navs, the ones that are constantly updated, to try and avoid things that suddenly happen that make your journey an impossible event. But that's what they do sometimes. They divert you off the motorway, take you for a jolly little trip around a housing estate, and then put you back on the motorway and say, go on, pat you on the back and say, good luck with the rest of your journey. Hope you get there on time. 50 miles per gallon. Some proper route planning. That's what's missing these days. The assumption is the sat-nav will always know best. I mean, it should do, shouldn't it really? Because I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of all of the roads of the UK. What I certainly don't have is a knowledge of which roads are congested before I get there. Whereas this does. Johnny has asked if I could be here as early as possible because he has other commitments during the day. And I got up early enough. Got up, enough time for a cup of tea, take the dog out, looking at the time, thinking, yeah, plenty to go. Now it looks like I'm going to be a half an hour later than what I said or what he assumed I would be here at.
Something very, very important.
Mistake number 2 of the day, not having anything to eat. I'm used to not having anything to eat when I get up and go out. Then I go to work and I go and do myself some busy things and I don't really think about it. What I should have done is just boiled some eggs. Boiled 4 eggs, stuck them in the carton, had them by my side, ready to cover the carpet in eggshells. But I didn't do, because I forgot that on a drive, it always seems to be a bit of a settling thing where you end up hungry because you're driving. Do you find that? 51 miles per gallon. Reason for bringing the Audi rather than the Rover 418 is I was expecting possibly slightly better fuel economy from that and slightly more comfort, but actually it seems to be going the other way. Getting a proper pain in my shoulder, like really bad, and 51 miles per gallon is not too bad, but I'm sure I could be doing a bit more in the Rover.
Diversity, encouraging the possibility of seeing the divide.
Interesting, very interesting. The human's unique ability to extend love without even being in person, with imagination. That's interesting. Apparently, it not only helps others, but it helps yourself. It can extend your life. So, and I'm not actually making fun of this. That means that by not dropping litter and picking up your dog shit, you're going to live longer. Brain fuel. Yeah. It's very interesting. This kind of just confirms what I sort of feel anyway, that when you take pleasure in seeing other people suffer, and lots of people do this, even if it's a real backhanded thing where they don't display it, but they just feel smug about something when they think they're right, when they think they've got one up on someone, feeling pleased to see an enemy, if you like, do bad. Not do bad, but come off worse. Karma. It's a weird one, because there are plenty of people in the world that do atrocious things. And in general, we do tend to feel quite good, quite happy when they get their comeuppance. But maybe that's not such a good thing. Maybe, it doesn't matter how bad somebody is, you shouldn't really wish them unwell. Even if what they have done has affected you personally, it's not going to help you in the long run. Anyone who's had the deeply traumatic experience of losing people around them and it being someone else's fault will, given time, become much more philosophical and therefore more forgiving. And you can do the ultimate in forgiving. And it always comes across as a really strange thing to do. But it's probably the only thing to do for your own health.
The underworld before you know it.
People that are tied to organized crime.
This is why I love Radio 4. It gives you things to actually properly think about, rather than just having banging tunes on, which inevitably will eventually annoy you. The worst kind of radio, as far as I'm concerned, is the commercial radio, where you just have these constantly irritating adverts on the go, and the same tunes, like a playlist of about 100 tunes that you didn't want to hear in the first place. How anybody really wants to listen to that, I'm a bit confused. Oh, fuel update. Let's see. I am now on 53.2 miles per gallon. Not bad. But what's really curious is I'm about 50 miles into this journey, and I started off with a range of 330 miles, and now I've got 330 miles. I love that. That's really cool. This is a really lovely, smooth road. Why can't more roads be like this one? This is a pleasure to drive along. 340 miles now the range is. So that means that as long as you want to have plenty of diesel in your tank, do lots of driving. Wow, it's like someone's dropped an actual stink bomb. Not smelt one of those in years. 350 mile range now suddenly. How confused is this car? Final update, 355 mile range. And 54.4 miles per gallon. I'm almost at my destination.
The wonderful time-lapse ending. A whole load of fast-moving pictures that don't really mean anything at all. Except, of course, the journey is being recorded whilst I have a conversation. Yeah, that's it really. I'm trying to stretch this out, just so you can see all of the bits here, but it's proving to be quite difficult. And after all, it's not even important, is it? Thank you for watching.